Mental illness invades The View, or shall I say ongoing mental illness invades The View.
That is true.
Anyway, known racist Sonny Hostin,
What? Shut up, bitch.
co-host of The View, brings on Joe Dementia, compares him to OG George Washington, and says his legacy will be etched in the history books.
A bullshit?
I'm Jazz Borganzo on this, to quote the great philosopher Ace Ventura.
Ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
Come on, man. Why the hell would I take a test?
And it's what's next. Hey, happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz Borganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. The View. Yes, I know for the less than 3% of the country that actually watches this trash baggery, The View is a show about a bunch of cackling hens who talk about nonsense, politics to pop culture, and then 9 times out of 10, they know nothing of what they speak. But the last time The View was worth watching, and I have to go way back, that would be one Rosie O'Donnell and Elizabeth Hasselbeck, the former co-host. And they had epic battles. There was masterpiece theater. Rosie would open her mouth, and Hasselbeck would shut it. But anyway, now it's trash baggery at its best. But recently, they had a special guest. Yeah, if you, who do you think that was? If you guessed Joe Dementia, Joe Biden, then 1, you'd be right, and 2, that's a hell of a guess. But anyway, he just, he stopped by, to talk about nonsense and puddings and socks. And co-host Sonny Hostin, known racist co-host Sonny Hostin, compared him to George Washington and said that his legacy will be etched in the history books. Well, if you're talking about a legacy of shitocracy, then you would be absolutely correct. There's no accountability for stupidity or mental illness. And here we go. This comes out of the Gateway Pundit. The View co-host Sonny Hostin compares Biden to George Washington, says his legacy will be etched in the history books. The View's co-host Sonny Hostin has an interesting comparison for Joe Biden's disastrous 4 years in office. Following Biden's appearance on the show Wednesday, Hostin said that Biden's legacy will be remembered for generations to come. Oh, it will be, my friends. It will be. I truly believe that his legacy will be etched in history books as Washington, she explained, as someone who put that ego aside and put his country first. Ego aside and country first. If ego you mean dementia, then yeah, you can say that. That is definitely his legacy, one of the other hosts responded. Let's all have a nice chuckle.
But I truly believe that his legacy will be etched in the history books as Washington, as someone who put that ego aside and put his country first. He's definitely his legacy.
Yes, kids. They're retarded. Anyway, during his appearance on the show Wednesday, the panelists slobbered over old Joe and told him what a wonderful job he had done in office. Biden, meanwhile, used the opportunity to attack Donald Trump, shocker, and insist that he would have won the presidential election if he had been allowed to stay in the race. That would be a no. I never fully believed the assertions that somehow that there was an overwhelming reluctance of my running again. No, really? I didn't sense that. My polling was always within range of beating this guy. Biden said, yeah, because if that would have been so good, your own wife and everybody else would have forced you out, something like a coup or something. Anyway, there were some folks who would like to see me step aside. So we had a chance to move on, and I get that, he continued. But that wasn't the reason why I stepped down. I stepped down because of my incompetency and my dementia. Oh, I'm sorry. Because I started thinking about it, it's hard to think, but it's hard for me even to say how old I am. What, 100? Sure. And here's Joe.
And look, I never fully believed the assertions that somehow there was this overwhelming reluctance of my running again. I didn't sense that. And although the polling, as I said, Biden's polling was different, in fact...
The buffoonery, the clownery, the assholery that is The View. Anyway, I can't remember the last time I did a video about The View, and it'll probably be my last time doing the one. Anyway, at this point, Joe Dementia is Joe Dementia. Sloppy Joe, Uncle Joe, Pedo Joe. But no surprise that the hosts of The View would slobber all over this guy. For Sonny Hostin to be so stupid, and yes, I will use the word again, retarded, to compare Joe Dementia, the most disastrous 4 years we've had in the history of this country since Carter, in my lifetime, compare him to the OG himself, the legend, the icon, George Washington, who, yes, put the country first ahead of himself. The man was pulled out of retirement to run for the presidency. He was done. General George Washington was done. He was like, you know what? I fought the good fight. I did what I was supposed to do. I'm out. Peace. No. They were like, Georgie boy, we need you. He was like, for what? To run for the president, to be the leader of this country. He's like, are you insane? I'm done. And because I'm finished. Please, the country needs you. Just one last time. And so he did. That is putting the country ahead of yourself. That is what JFK said, what you can do for your country. And George did just that. But to compare him with a demented, riddled old man, full of corruption, nonsense, buffoonery, dementia, I can't even think of another word to explain his incompetency during the 4 years of his presidential regime, is ridiculous. It's insane. It's stupid. It's moronic. But then again, it's The View. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.